supporters, all my fans, all my loved ones. I'm sorry I let you guys down. I know we didn't get this victory, but it was a learning experience, man. I know I should have trained harder. I know I should have taken more serious, but he won, no excuses. But best believe I'm going to come back stronger. Thank you, everybody que me apoyaron. Gracias. Ya sé que perdí, pero voy a venir para la tercera pelea más duro, más fuerte. Y le vamos a echar más ganas. Todo por todo el apoyo. Todos mis fans. Thank you. I love you guys.
So we just heard there from Andy, the student Ruiz. Now, I've got to be honest, because, what was it, yesterday, when I did my initial reaction, I kind of said that I didn't mind the fact that Ruiz made excuses, and I kind of half of me does still stand by that, because as a fan, I can appreciate that if it was my fighter, I actually want to know why my fighter believes they did bad. Now, don't get me wrong, it might not change the outcome. Does that make sense? But I feel, as a fan, if and when my fighter loses, I like to know they've got a reason for it. Now that's half of me. The other half is, if you got a genuine excuse, that's one thing. Yeah. If your excuse is, oh, I haven't trained, or you know what I mean, like if your excuse is something that you can't control, like I don't know, oh, I was diagnosed with something, or that makes sense. Genuinely, if you've got a genuine excuse, that actually I don't mind that. It's not massively tasteful, but as a fan, if I was an Andy Ruiz fan tonight, I would have wanted to know his explanation for it. Being told there's nothing wrong or whatever, that irritated. I've got to be honest, when AJ told us there was nothing wrong, that irritated me, for truth be known, because we knew there was something weren't right, and now he's kind of told us there was something wrong. That to me, that irritated me, but I understand why he didn't want to tell people, because he doesn't want to come across as a sore loser. That said, what happened to AJ on June 1st, and that shocking performance wasn't what happened tonight with Ruiz. Does that make sense? Meaning that Ruiz's excuse wasn't some concussion or some, you know what I mean? It wasn't one of them ones. What happened to Ruiz tonight was complacency and pure arrogance. I think what a lot of it's come from is the fact that the LDBC and a whole load of bandwagon dongs have been blowing up Andy Ruiz. That's half of it. Oh, man, Andy Ruiz gonna do this. Anthony Joshua, he a big stiff weightlifter. Oh, Anthony Joshua, he ain't got no chin. He useless. He can't box. Oh, Anthony Joshua, his only chance is to box. And Anthony Joshua can't box. All these goofy people with goofy opinions. And Andy Ruiz, rather than being a true... And he comes across humble, but he's not truly humble. Someone truly humble would say, you know what, LDBC, you know what, goofy internet dons, you man haven't boxed a day in your life. You man won't even step to the YB, never mind nothing else. Keep your opinions, I'm going to get in the gym and train, because I've only just got here. And Andy Ruiz said all the right things. Oh, yeah, I'm not taking it. Oh, I'm not taking it for granted. Oh, yeah, I'm training hard still. Oh yeah, I'm humble. But he wasn't really humble, because now he's saying, oh, I wasn't really in the gym. I wasn't really training. I was partying. Oh, I should have done this. I should have, woulda, coulda. And the worst thing is, Andy Ruiz said he wanted to lose weight. So my whole thing is, you knew you had to lose weight. So why were you... How can you know you need to do something and do the opposite? Yeah? Saying, oh, well, I should have... Looking back, I should have done this. At the time, you were saying you needed to do this. Yeah, as an example, if someone genuinely didn't know they shouldn't be partying, you knew you needed to be lower weight. You said yourself, yes, I want to be in the best shape for this rematch. So let's not make out it's a big shock to you. You knew yourself that being massive and heavy weren't going to help. You can try and lie to yourself and try and make out, oh well, I thought being big might help. No, you didn't. You came in chubby, chunky, bubbly as you like. And I already called it. I told you, man. People thought I was joking. I said, listen, I know Andy Ruiz's type. He is a bubbly chick. Bubbly chicks can't help themselves. They like to eat. And everyone's got their own little vice. Andy Ruiz's vice is his bubbly eating habits. I knew he was going to struggle. Struggle losing weight. He clearly struggled with it his whole life. That said, it's a dangerous combination. When you're broke pocket, you can't afford to eat the good foods. You can't afford to be going out and eating at expensive, tasty, plentiful restaurants. You're out there eating cheap rubbish. And even then, you can't even eat a lot of it because you're broke. Now he got all the money, he could go to Red Lobster every night and max out the place. Time and time again. Live that fast food lifestyle. And it well and truly showed. That said, whilst if I was a Ruiz fan, I would have wanted to have known what went wrong. To hear his excuses, I didn't train and I didn't do this, I didn't commit myself, and it's honestly embarrassing. I couldn't initially see it. I was speaking to my dad, and he said that it completely put him off. After hearing that, he doesn't want to see a third fight now. It completely put him off. And initially, I thought, what do you mean? He's just telling you what happened. But actually, now in hindsight, I do see that now. I get it. It's truly disrespectful to the sport at this level to come in the ring. You've only just got here, by the way. As an example, AJ, for whatever reason, has, I believe, his exponentially increased, or his exponentially learned from June 1st. And even then, AJ wasn't being like Ruiz. AJ didn't blow up in weight. He didn't not train. He had a bit of a blip. And by the way, AJ had a bit of a blip in June 2019 after being in the spotlight for the last 7 years or whatever it's been. It took AJ 7 years to take a little blip. Yeah? He didn't completely lose himself like Fury. Fury and Ruiz completely lost themselves. Fury and the coke and the drink, and Ruiz, and that's another thing, Fury hadn't even been in the spotlight. Fury, there's another one. He literally just got the belts and lost the plot. Ruiz just got the belts and lost the plot. And that just goes to show the difference in caliber here. That's what it comes down to, ultimately. Just got there, no time at all, and they've all completely lost their discipline. Both of them, in fact. Fury ballooned up in weight as well, 20 stone. Never mind 20 pounds, 20 stone. Straight up. And that's one thing I will respect Ruiz for. At least Ruiz, unlike Fury, at least Ruiz turned up for the rematch, so I do give him that level of respect. That said, Ruiz in this video here makes his excuses. And I actually feel bad for his fans, because if AJ, for example, had a pulled up, well, you know, actually, having said that, if AJ had a pulled up in June 1st and told us he'd been partying and whatnot, I would have actually possibly gave him a blind, because I'd have thought, you know what, my man's been doing this for 10 years. So after 10 years, it can kind of weigh on you. Or after 5 years, it can kind of weigh on you. But the difference is, Ruiz, you just got here. How can you have lost all your discipline, all that hunger, all that broke living in 3 or 4 months? How can you have done that? And you only just got here. You hadn't even defended the belts. You hadn't even proved you was that guy yet. How are you acting? How are you going Hollywood? How are you acting like you're the guy when you haven't even proven it yet, essentially? And you completely lost composure. And they're the people I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for his fans, because he's mugged you all off. He promised the world he was going to do this, he was going to do that, but he's proved he's a fake, a big fake. Now, don't get me wrong, he may in the future go forward and prove his real worth, but to have thrown it away, now I think he would have got his head boxed off either way, but I'm saying, I don't care what no one says, the fight would have been better if Ruiz had come in 20 pounds lighter. He weighed in 268. If he'd have come in 248, which, by the way, he has weighed in his career, 248 isn't something he's never done before. Andy Ruiz, I think his lowest is 246, actually. So that just goes to show, if Andy Ruiz really was on it, he would have come in 246, and I think at 246, he would have actually been a lot better than he was last night. It would have made it more competitive. His feet would have been quicker, his work rate would have been quicker, etc., etc. That said, it's no one else's fault but his own, and he owed it to his fans, because he didn't have no fans before. No one was looking for him, and that's not their fault, to be fair, because if no one don't know you, no one don't know you. But he had the opportunity of a lifetime to change his life and yeah. There's never been a Mexican heavyweight champion before. He had the opportunity to rise up and do something for his fans and his culture in his country, and instead he took all that love and passion he received and just basically said, yeah, that's great, but I'm just going to do my own thing. He let it go to his head. He thought it was I don't know what he thought it was. He thought he was way too big for his boots. He started believing the hype. He started believing he was all the things that everyone was saying he was. And it's what makes it worse is the fact that he's saying now, oh, I wish. What do you mean you wish? Let's not make out, you're talking as if like you've just lost your leg in a car park, in a car accident. Oh, I wish God didn't do this to me. Oh, I wish I hadn't have crashed in. You know what I mean? Like, you're making out something's happened which wasn't in your control. When something happens to someone and it wasn't in their control, that's when I feel sorry for someone. When you've just been partying, and I'm not being funny, like I said a second ago, what irks me is the fact that this wasn't rocket science. It really wasn't. We know it's the age-old It's the age-old boxing story or sporting story. Someone gets successful and they completely lose the plot. What? How didn't the bell start ringing in his head? People were already saying, "Oh, is Ruiz going to be a Buster Douglas?" How did he not? How did he not have that level of self-analysis? Wait there a minute. Do I really need to be partying for 3 months? Bearing in mind as well, and this is what gets me even more. It's not as if, like, as an example, Mike Tyson, he went off the rails, and once again, Mike Tyson, to be fair, he went off the rails 5 years after being in the spotlight. But even so, when Mike Tyson went off the rails, he didn't actually have anyone round him guiding him the right way. Andy Ruiz, on the other hand, he had a father, a family, a great coach in Manny Robles. I really rate Manny Robles. Manny Robles came out and said Andy Ruiz doesn't deserve a third fight. He has to go away and earn it and beat some top 5 competitors. And having heard that, most trainers would be saying, "Oh yeah, give us the third fight, looking for the money." But the fact Manny Robles has come out and said, "Nah, he needs to go back and fight," that shows me a real man. And also, the fact Manny Robles actually came out and said, "Even though we lost, I need to take some responsibility." And I really rate that about Robles, because other trainers, when someone's lost, I'm not going to name any names and that, but other trainers, when their fighter has lost, have taken no responsibility and blamed it all on the fighter. And the fact in fact, on this one, this loss wasn't Manny Robles' fault. But even so, the fact he's come along and said, "I'm going to take my share," full respect for that. But anyway, back to Andy Ruiz, and that's another thing. It's that entitled attitude, that typical PBC entitled attitude. Me, 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 me. Like, his trainer has the right attitude here. You know what? You've pathetically let your whole country down. You've let all of your supporters down. You've let yourself down. You've let your family down. You've just been pathetic. Not training, big fat mess. To get whooped like that and then to come out and say, "Oh, I should have trained." As if what did you think this was? Who did you think you was fighting? You knew AJ, this wasn't a surprise. This wasn't a Ruiz versus Buster Douglas situation. You knew he was fighting a man who's beat Klitschko, Povetkin, Dillian White, etc, etc. You knew you were fighting the taller man, the athletic man. But yet, you had all this to gain essentially as well. But yet, you don't train and don't do nothing. And not only that, not only do you not do any of them things, not train, take the Michael, party all the time, you then get schooled after not training, let everyone down, let all of your supporters down in an embarrassing fashion, and then, it doesn't stop there though, you then rock onto the mic and start talking about a third fight. Like, what planet are you on? What you should have done, if Andy Ruiz was humble and not PBC entitled, he would have grabbed the mic and said, "You know what, AJ? You're the man. I need to take my sorry ass. I'm going to go away now, hide under a rock, and come out and knock Wilder out, and then it'll be me and you for a unification." That's what you should have done. Instead, you started talking about a third fight. What are you on about? What makes you think? And I've got to be honest, initially, I was calling for a third fight as well, but on hindsight, actually I've been thinking about it. No, you haven't earned it. I said it before. Andy Ruiz could have earned a third fight. If he'd have come in there against AJ last night, in a good shape, I'm not even asking for 240, not 248. Let's say he came in 268, but gave it a good account, actually put himself out there, took risk, was prepared to get knocked out going for the win, like Chisora did against Dillian White in the second fight. If he'd have done that, I'd have said, "You know what? This man's earned a rematch." He didn't do that. He went out there, followed AJ around the ring, got his cunt jabbed right in, got his cunt punched in, and then after the fight, got a load of excuses, but by the way, let's do it again. Nah, brethren, you need to go back and put pressure on Wilder, knock Wilder out, and we'll fight you again for a fourth fight. In fact, if I was AJ, that's what he should have said, because that would be a great way to get the belt. So at least we know Ruiz will fight AJ. In fact, that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start campaigning, and I'd implore all of you lot to do it as well. We need to start campaigning for Ruiz versus Wilder. At least then, and I think Ruiz can beat Wilder, because Wilder don't have no. He can't box like that. And also, I just think, all I know is, I think Ruiz can take Wilder's right hand. We've just seen Ruiz taking AJ's right hand all night. And I think that what put Ruiz down was a big hook and a big uppercut. Wilder don't have no big hooks, don't have no big uppercuts. I think Ruiz is one of them dudes who can take a right hand. So I'd love to see that fight. And they're in PBC. What? Let's not forget as well, before this happened, Wilder and Ruiz were licking each other's gooches, talking about how, oh yeah, man, we had the PBC, we in-house. Let's see how easy the in-house is to make then. Let's get that going. That's what needs to happen. Ruiz versus Wilder. Now's the time. Bearing in mind, Ruiz has got all the clout now. Mexico, everyone was talking about 1 million, 2 million, 3 million pay-per-view homes for Ruiz versus Wilder. Let's see it. I'd rather see that than the Fury fight. At least we know Ruiz is going to throw his hands and have a bit of snap on him. Mr. Pillarfist. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Mr. Ruiz, keeping it pathetic as ever. Anyone who wants to support the Patreon, like my dog Carluccio, my $60 dog Carluccio, patreon.com/theyb, and you get some daily exclusive videos, daily live streams. Support your boy the YB, and I'll be back.